You know that feeling when life seems to lose its spark and nothing feels enjoyable anymore? You try, but something always seems to be missing. What if I told you this feeling isn't the end, but rather the beginning of something bigger? There's a way to rediscover happiness and purpose, and it's closer than you think. Curious how? Stick with me, and I'll show you how to turn this phase into something extraordinary. As time goes by, life, which once felt full of excitement and promise, slowly gets shaped by responsibilities and challenges. In the beginning, everything feels like an invitation to explore. Small things, like a walk on a sunny day, spark a natural sense of curiosity we all have. But as the layers of life pile up, obligations, deadlines, commitments, the joy of living gradually gets replaced by the need to just get through the day. Suddenly, what used to fascinate you turns into a series of routine tasks, and the spark begins to fade. This emotional numbness doesn't happen overnight, and that's the real danger. It sneaks up on you. One day, you're full of energy, inspired, and ready to conquer the world. The next, you find yourself stuck in a spiral of monotony, where every day feels the same, and genuine joy feels like a distant memory. This can happen when daily worries take over, turning even your free time into another chore. The world, which once felt vast and full of opportunities, now seems small and limited. What once motivated you now barely holds your attention. But the key is recognizing these signs. When you start feeling like nothing excites you anymore, and the things that once brought you joy have become just another part of the routine, it's time to take a step back and reassess. You don't need to make big, dramatic changes. Small shifts can make a huge difference. How about setting aside just 10 minutes a day for something you genuinely enjoy, something you've let go of because life got too busy? Maybe it's listening to a favorite song or picking up that book you never finished. It's in these small actions that you'll find the key to reigniting your spark. This feeling of numbness doesn't have to be permanent. It can be a signal that your life needs realignment. Have you thought about reconnecting with something that used to make you feel alive? Or maybe trying something new, something outside your comfort zone? Sometimes the answer lies in a shift of perspective, seeing familiar situations in a new light. When life starts feeling repetitive, it's an invitation to look within and find ways to reawaken your passion. And it might be easier than you think. When life's challenges pile up, emotional detachment often kicks in as a protective instinct. Imagine someone who's faced disappointment after disappointment or endured deep pain. The mind, in an effort to protect itself, starts building an invisible wall, as if saying, "If I don't feel too much, I won't get hurt again." At first, it seems to work. You avoid the sharp pain and keep moving forward. But over time, that wall blocks out not just the pain, but also the joy and happiness. What began as a survival mechanism turns into an emotional prison where nothing seems to matter anymore. This emotional armor can be helpful in moments of crisis, serving as a way to survive intense trauma. However, the longer you keep it on, the harder it becomes to take it off. Life begins to lose its flavor, colors fade, and the experiences that once brought joy turn into monotonous routines. Imagine someone who used to feel deeply watching movies, listening to music, or simply taking a walk in the park. Over time, those experiences stop having the same effect. It's not that they've lost their value. Rather, the person has unconsciously disconnected from their ability to fully feel. It's like living on autopilot, where deep emotions remain dormant. But this emotional disconnection doesn't have to be permanent. You can reconnect with your feelings and gradually rebuild a healthy relationship with your emotions. The first step is awareness, recognizing that this distance was a way to protect yourself. But now it's time to lower your guard. You can start with small actions, like rediscovering old passions or allowing yourself to feel without fear of the consequences. For instance, if reading a good book used to bring you joy, why not try that again? Or explore something new like learning a skill or practicing meditation to open up new emotional pathways. Ultimately, this journey is about improving yourself and allowing emotions to become a balanced, healthy part of your life once more. Detachment, while necessary at times, doesn't have to be permanent. Emotional reconnection is possible, and when it happens, it's like opening a window to let fresh air into a room that's been closed for too long. But this doesn't mean you should dive headfirst into every emotion again. It's a gradual process. You begin to balance this natural defense with a newfound openness to feeling life's richness. It might feel uncomfortable at first, but through this vulnerability, you can rediscover true emotional depth. Step by step, you'll find your way back to real pleasure and genuine joy, rediscovering what it truly means to grow as a person. Throughout history, the concept of detachment has been central to many philosophical traditions. In Stoicism, philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius taught that true freedom comes from accepting what we cannot control. They believed that suffering arises when we try to change or influence things beyond our reach, such as someone else's opinion or external circumstances. Imagine someone constantly worried about what others think. Stoicism teaches that this worry is pointless because it's out of our control. The real power lies in mastering your own reactions and emotions. This alone is an essential step in the journey of self-improvement. Taoism, on the other hand, offers a more fluid perspective. In his writings in the Tao Te Ching, Laozi talks about Wu Wei, which means effortless action. Here, detachment isn't about indifference, but about flowing with life in a harmonious way, without fighting against the natural flow of circumstances. Think of a river. It doesn't force its way through, but adapts to the terrain and eventually reaches the ocean. Applying this to daily life can be as simple as accepting that we won't always have control over every outcome. For example, when facing a difficult situation at work, you can focus on what's within your control, instead of wasting energy fighting what you cannot change. Buddhism takes the concept of detachment even further, suggesting that attachment is the root of all suffering. Buddha taught that our minds constantly cling to desires, whether it's for status, security, or personal relationships, and this attachment leads us on an endless chase for something that never feels like enough. Letting go of attachment doesn't mean giving up the good things in life, but rather releasing the unrealistic expectation that they will bring lasting happiness. A practical example is practicing detachment from outcomes in everyday situations, like an exam or job interview. You give it your best, but you don't let the result define your self-worth. By adopting this mindset, you'll see how detachment can actually improve your life, freeing your mind from unnecessary anxieties. It's important to understand that detachment doesn't mean indifference or apathy. It's about learning to live more lightly, accepting that we don't always have the control we wish we did. The philosophies of detachment teach us to be resilient in the face of uncertainty and to find inner peace amid chaos. Applying these principles in daily life is like creating a mental shield that protects you from stress and frustration. However, this shield doesn't isolate you from emotions. It allows you to experience them in a more balanced way. When you detach from what you can't control, you create space for new opportunities and experiences to flow into your life, allowing for continuous growth and self-improvement. Detachment is a crucial skill for protecting us from life's inevitable pains, but it shouldn't be confused with apathy. When balanced properly, detachment allows you to live with more lightness, without losing the emotional intensity that makes life fulfilling. Imagine being in a relationship. If you're too attached, the fear of losing that person can cause constant anxiety. But if you're completely detached, you might lose the ability to truly connect. The key is in loving deeply, without letting fear or attachment control your actions. This balance creates space for emotion without letting it overwhelm you. True wisdom is knowing when to let go and when to engage. Finding this balance is a journey that requires self-awareness. By cultivating healthy detachment, you don't remove emotions from your life. Instead, you learn to experience them consciously. Emotional richness comes from the ability to open yourself to life's experiences, whether it's a professional success, a new love, or even a moment of hardship, without being trapped by rigid expectations or fear of loss. Think of someone who pours passion into a creative project but doesn't cling to the final outcome. This person can enjoy each step of the process, feeling the satisfaction of creation without being crushed by the pressure for perfection. This kind of balance is key to self-improvement, allowing you to grow emotionally without self-sabotage. Living an emotionally rich life means being willing to feel everything, from the purest joy to the deepest sadness, without overly identifying with any of those emotions. A practical example is dealing with frustration at work. You can detach from the expectation that things will always go perfectly, while still allowing yourself to feel the frustration without letting it paralyze you. This gives you a solid emotional foundation where you can live each moment fully, without being trapped by the need for control or perfection. This balance between detachment and emotional engagement creates a strong foundation for experiencing life more fully. And of course, it helps you keep evolving, improving your relationships, and most importantly, improving yourself. This balance also shows in how you handle life's ups and downs. Instead of avoiding emotional challenges, you learn to face them with maturity and wisdom. Imagine living a life where you dive into your passions but can handle failure or disappointment without being crushed by them. It's not about being indifferent. It's about a conscious approach that allows you to ride the emotional waves with grace and strength. When you find that harmony between detachment and emotional richness, you realize that emotions aren't your enemy. They're tools for your personal growth. They help you grow, learn, and above all, improve yourself in every aspect of life. Routine, with its predictability, can drain the spontaneity out of life. It's easy to get comfortable with the daily grind, but that sameness can put out the flame of joy. The secret to reigniting that flame lies in small changes. Think about it. Simply taking a different route on your daily commute can change your perspective. Instead of walking the same street as always, try exploring a new path. You'll notice different views, new faces, and it will spark a sense of novelty in your mind. Every little change breaks the cycle of autopilot and gives your mind a chance to explore the world again with curiosity, bringing back that feeling of being present and connected to the moment. Another powerful way to rediscover joy is by rekindling old passions. Remember that activity you used to love but set aside when life got busy? It could be as simple as drawing, playing an instrument, or spending more time in nature. Returning to these passions brings out a part of you that may have gotten lost in the daily grind. For example, picking up a hobby like photography not only provides a fun activity, but also allows you to literally see the world from new angles. These small changes, whether revisiting old passions or trying new things, are part of the process of improving yourself and can reignite authentic joy. Seeking new challenges is another key tool for reigniting inner joy. Humans are built to grow, and growth happens when we step outside our comfort zones. Embracing challenges injects new energy into your life. Imagine starting to learn a new language or signing up for a dance class you've always been too scared to try. These challenges don't have to be huge, but they create a sense of progress, which is crucial for feeling good about yourself. Tackling something new pushes you beyond the predictable and shows you there's so much more to discover. As you overcome these challenges, you realize you're making real progress in improving yourself. It's through this constant renewal that joy is rediscovered and strengthened, adding new meaning and satisfaction to your life. Change doesn't have to be scary. In fact, it's the key to a more vibrant life. When you allow the new to come in, even in small ways, your brain responds with fresh energy, and your heart opens up to experiences you might have overlooked. The process of rediscovering joy isn't instant, but it's simple. By making small changes and seeking out new challenges, you'll start to see that joy comes from doing things with intention and viewing life with fresh eyes. Little by little, Monotony gives way to curiosity, satisfaction, and of course, the continuous improvement of yourself. Now that you've learned how to turn that feeling of emptiness into an opportunity to rediscover joy and purpose, the big question is, what are you going to do with it? Will you stick to the same routine, or will you take the first step toward improving yourself and living a more fulfilling life? The choice is in your hands. Small changes can completely transform your reality, and it's up to you to take action. If this message resonated with you, the next step is simple. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and don't miss our latest video, The Secret Power of Silence, the Buddhist story that will transform your life. This video will teach you a powerful Buddhist lesson that can speed up your journey of self-discovery and transformation. And let me know in the comments, what's the first change you're going to make? I'm curious to hear, and I'm here to support you on this path.